today is Saturday, and you might be wondering why I'm not outside filming somewhere near the office of my client. Well, the thing is, I called my friend about what should I do. Is meeting gonna be set up today or something like that? So I called him, even if he didn't call me first, because technically he has job for me, not, I mean, whatever. Like, I just called him, whatever, and he said, okay, I'm gonna call the client now. So it's just so weird. It's 3 p.m. You could have done it earlier, but whatever. I don't know if the meeting is gonna got set up today, but anyway, even if it's not gonna happen today, I know that eventually in this months, at least, inshallah, I hope that this meeting is gonna get set up, because if a client needs a website, there's, they I mean, they probably are gonna order it from somewhere, and if it's not gonna be me, then okay, just let me know that you don't have a business for me anymore, and that's it. Okay, that's it. That's it about when it comes to web design, right? Web design stuff. So far, we have a couple of people on Instagram who didn't schedule meetings yet, because even if I sent them a Calendly link, there's some people. Yeah, that so far we have three people on Instagram who said me that they want to order. I sent them a Calendly link. They didn't schedule the meeting yet. I don't know why. I'm gonna text them. I'm gonna text them today, inshallah. Yesterday I did DM 30 people, so it's gonna be a little tough to find the right chat. But anyway, so far when it comes to my agency, when it comes to my agency's financials, that's it. Because next, what I want to share with you is really an insane thing. In one single morning, brother, yes, spontaneously. And if you're gonna take a look at my to-do list, what I have planned for today, there are no such things which I have planned for today to be done. Like, for example, today I had an idea of, I have to change my agency's website. My agency's website so far is incomplete, slightly. So there is no multiple languages as I wanted to do it. So there is, gazillions of things which I wanted to do. But the problem is that before you start to build a website, you have to have a design of it in Figma or some kind of other platform, maybe Photoshop or Adobe XD. You have to have a design of what you want to build. You have to have a design of house if you want to build it. You have to have a design of website if you want to start to build it. So the problem is that I didn't have a friend designer. I mean, I have a friend designer, but he is technically a self-taught designer, so his designs are very, the kind of designs I didn't want to implement, his level of skill. So I was stuck in this situation where I kind of wanted to update my website, but I'm like, where am I gonna get the design from? Like, all these ideas which I had in my mind how to deal with this problem was either finding someone who can make a design to me for free, or like something like that. And I stumbled upon this weird loony land world of people who are kind of designers, like me. There are a lot of tools which can help me. I just had to be a little specific about what I want, and that's it. For example, AI tools which can make a web design for you, or free templates, or yes, I didn't use that. I used another thing. I found a tool which can, if you paste a link to already existing website, it can give you a Figma file which you can then use to build your own website. Of course, you're gonna change certain things in that Figma file, like logos, design itself to a certain degree. But this is already good enough for me personally. Someone who doesn't know a web design at all. I'm a web developer. And even this kind of solution to my problem was good enough. And I found that tool, I used it. So right now I have desktop, tablet, and mobile responsive design of a website I got inspired from. And now all which has left for me is to build that website, is to change a little bit of design, and just freaking do something about it. I can build. I don't have a problem with like coding stuff because I'm a programmer myself. But I had a problem with designing. I had a problem with design part, and the problem is that you have to first design to start the code, right? And I came up with a solution. Same morning, I found this tool. I paste the link, and now I have a website. I just basically have a website. I turned my idea into reality. At least I get closer to it, right? And I don't know how to share it via video, but I was planning and thinking about this idea for like couple of weeks, even months maybe, I don't know. And finally today, in a couple of hours, in one single morning, between 9 a.m. and 12 p.m., I just made the thing come true and to reality. This is one thing which I want to document. Because from now on, and for the next maybe couple of weeks, I don't know how much time it's going to take me to build this website, but I want to build this website now. I want to change the design first, to a certain degree, and then from there to build this website. Second, I don't really like how spontaneous these two things happen today. First is, designing of my personal website. But technically, in my to-do list, I don't have these things. I have doing my programming classes, reading Quran, memorizing new surah, DMing people, vlogging, applying for coding job. There is no such thing as like, my personal website. There's none of that. None of that. Second, my friend, with whom I was building my startups, two startups, he says, you know what, we have to start from the easier one. We started one which is the most exciting to start, which is the second this one. But he said, you know what, this downloader from YouTube, which we're gonna make ad free, sounds kind of more easier. So what happened today, he just texts me and he's like, what we're gonna do about this project? Did you find a API, or like what we're gonna do? We're gonna hire a developer? I'm like, I think we're gonna find a free API available pre-made, so we don't have to hire a developer, because the reason why you're hiring a developer is to build an API, right? And I'm like, and he's like, yeah, I found an API. And we found an API while texting, and he's like, can you just call me? I'm like, right now? And he's like, yeah, can you call me right now? And from that moment, 40 minutes later, 40 freaking minutes later, not even 1 hour, alhamdulillah, 40 minutes later, we had a working MVP, minimum viable product. Of course, without my friend, it wouldn't happen in the reality, but I also did help him at like certain things, like finding API, but a lot of the coding stuff, he did it. Because he decided to call me, he said, let's have a call, and I'm like, okay, I didn't know what he wanted to do. When I called him, and I'm like, what we're gonna do, and he's like, can you, so he literally said, let's build it, let's build it. And I'm like, you want to build it right now, live, like just you want to start from freaking scratch? We started just insane. We created a new repository. We created a new Vercel project. We created new React app. We found an API from nowhere, working an API, of course with a limitation, but it is still working API. We uh, we wrote some code to make this API work, and then from there we pushed everything to the GitHub, and now we have a working MVP in like freaking 40 minutes. 40 minutes. Now, just you can paste the link of a YouTube video, press the download, and it's gonna download video from YouTube. And I'm like, what? I was kind of surprised that he literally wanted to build this thing live, you know, like just calling me and just, you know what, let's do it right now, right freaking now. I'm like, okay, it sounds cool, but I don't think it's possible. And that's why I'm so excited and recording this video right now, because I'm so excited. I didn't know that this is possible, and we just together made it possible. We just turned something which was in my mind impossible into possible, and turned this idea into reality, into minimal viable product. Yes, there is a lot of things, a lot of features, a lot of, we don't even have a basic CSS, we don't have basic functions, we didn't add a lot of stuff, but the main feature is to download a video from YouTube, right? Yes. Can this software, you know, make this operation? Yes, it can. You know, yes, with a little bit of struggle, but it can. You know, what I mean by struggle is that there are certain functions which is gonna make this process slower and stuff like that. But is it working? Yes, it is. You know, it's insane that from scratch, we didn't even had a folder. We didn't even create a React app. We didn't create a repository. We didn't create a Vercel application with nothing, from scratch, in one call, from start to finish, into MVP. And only thing which has lost from here and to, I think, end of this month, is to make some design corrections, a little bit of functionality, add to it not only YouTube but also all the other social media platforms. And that's it. That's freaking it. Oh, that's the most exciting part of it. And of course, like designing, you know, the first thing which I said, also very exciting. Both of these two things are, you know, things which I was considering. We were moving really slow so far. Like not really slow, but it never did happen so fast. You know, I was doing some progress, and like, you know, here and there, but this guy made me sit down today for 40 minutes straight, and we just made it. Oh my god, man, I'm so happy right now. Same with my agency, you know, I have a Figma file right now. I can just go ahead and start building it. And I think I will do, yeah, this. Yeah, I said what I wanted to say, you know. I hope it's gonna get documented into history of Sanjar Productions. Peace out. Okay, I'm gonna quickly record this video even if I'm going back home from the gym, and I don't like people looking at me weird, but I have to say it before I'm gonna forget it. And also, I don't want this video to be the kind of video which is just gonna be showing one side of the coin, right? The good side of the life, when, you know, as I said, everything goes even better than you thought and stuff like that. Remember when I said my friend found a client who already purchased from him SMMA services, his SMMA services, and that same client decided that he needs a website, and my friend reached out to me to build a website. And alhamdulillah, everything was all right, unless he called me a couple of minutes before I went to the gym. I was on the way going to the gym. It was about 3 p.m. And he goes, I scheduled a meeting today for 4 p.m. And I'm like, well, I have to go, like between 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. I'm not gonna be available, right? And he's like, okay, whatever, blah blah blah. I'm like, well, I'm happy that you understood, and fine. And I get out of the home. I'm on the way to the gym. Just right before I took a bus. I'm like, let me call this guy. I'm like, what if we just reschedule this meeting for Monday? It's Saturday today. They're probably not gonna be working on Sunday. What about Monday 4 p.m? I can go to the gym earlier Monday. You just have to say and tell me that this is the time when we're gonna have a meeting. I'm gonna go to the gym earlier, and that day I'm gonna go to the gym earlier, like 10 a.m, and I'm gonna be ready for 4 p.m. meeting with a client. And I called my friend, said him, reschedule a meeting, blah 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 blah. And he goes, I canceled the order. I canceled the meeting. First he said I canceled. I'm like, you canceled the meeting? Okay, right. I mean, that's okay. What if you reschedule a meeting for Monday? I'm like, and he's like, no, client dictates when the meeting is gonna be. I'm like, well, both of us are human beings. What if we just schedule a day, just quickly ask them if they have a time at 4 p.m. on Monday. If they don't, what about Wednesday or Friday or like any other day of the week when I can, I'm gonna be available. I'm, like just let me know, and like ask them, and not like something really bad. I'm not asking them to give me, like a pile of gold for free. Like, I'm not asking for something crazy, right? I'm just asking for reschedule of a meeting to another day, and that's it. And he goes, I canceled the order. And I'm like, so you basically just, threw the idea of making a website for them to the trash? I'm like, you just did this thing. You canceled the order at all. Like, you don't want to make a website just because we couldn't agree for rescheduling of a meeting to another day, or like, that is so stupid. And I said it to him, and he is like, like, yeah, that's what happened, I think. Those people who have been watching me for the last couple of weeks, and that I have been preparing for this interview couple of days and stuff like that. I even went to the office of that client, and he wasn't there. And today he says me that, what, F off, we're not gonna work with you, like, or like, whatever. I'm like, it's so weird, because you want me to be your, like, I don't know, your pet, when I'm gonna come to you when you say I have to come to you, right? It's not gonna work that way, right? I'm not even your employee, right? We're just business partners, it's not gonna work this way. And seems like he didn't like that someone is not willing to do whatever he says, and he canceled the order. And I'm like, fine, F you, I'm not gonna work with you. Also, I'm not begging for money. Allah will give me, Allah will provide me. Yeah, peace. I think so far That's it. I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna eat something, and I'm gonna have some rest. And I have to call my mom. Peace.